Hey guys, this is Amit and you're watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between OnePlus Nord 2 5G versus Oppo Reno6 Pro 5G, and we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. In the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, Nord 2 have triple camera setup, 50 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, and 2 megapixel of macro camera. Whereas Reno 6 Pro comes with quad camera setup, 64 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera, and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have quad camera setup, which have 64 megapixel of wide camera which can take high resolution of photos. And about the front camera of the devices, Nord 2 have 32 megapixel of wide camera, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 32 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have low aperture which can take low noisy photos in low light condition. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. Nord 2 have dual LED flash, HDR and panorama, whereas Reno 6 Pro have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So the winner here is Nord 2 because it have dual LED flash. And about the video recording options in the devices, Nord 2 can shoot 4K video max at 30fps, Full HD video max at 240fps with gyro electronic image stabilization, whereas Reno 6 Pro can record 4K video max at 30fps, Full HD video max at 60fps with gyro electronic image stabilization. So the winner here is Nord 2 Pro because it can record Full HD video max at 240fps. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. Nord 2 have Android 11 support. On the other side, Reno 6 Pro also have Android 11 support. So it's a tie. And about the user interface of the devices, Nord 2 have Oxygen OS, whereas Reno 6 Pro comes with Color OS. So it's a tie because both of the user interface have different UI. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. Nord 2 is powered by Dimensity 1200 5G based on 6nm processor, whereas Reno 6 Pro is powered by Dimensity 1200 5G based on 6nm processor. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same processor, which gives you same processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, Nord 2 is packed with Mali G77, whereas Reno 6 Pro is packed with Mali G77. So again it's a tie because both of the devices have same GPU, which gives you same FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. Nord 2 can clock at 3.0 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset, whereas Reno 6 Pro can clock at 3.0 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have same clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, Nord 2 have two option 8 and 12 GB, whereas Reno 6 Pro have two option 8 and 12 GB. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same it's a tie because both of the devices have same capacity of RAM. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. Nord 2 comes with 128 and 256 GB of storage, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 128 and 256 GB of storage. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same storage option. And about the external storage of the devices, Nord 2 did not have any card slot, whereas Reno 6 Pro also did not have any card slot. So it's a tie. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. Nord 2 have 6.43 inches of display, whereas Reno 6 Pro also have 6.55 inches of display. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have bigger screen size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, Nord 2 have approximately 85.8%, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 88.6%. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have bigger ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. Nord 2 comes with Full HD Plus display. On the other side, Reno 6 Pro also have Full HD Plus display. So it's a tie here. And about the display type of the devices, Nord 2 have Fluid AMOLED display having 90Hz of refresh rate with HDR10 Plus support, whereas Reno 6 Pro have AMOLED display having 120Hz of refresh rate with HDR10 Plus support. So the winner here is Nord 2 because it have Fluid AMOLED display which gives you more darker black and vivid colors. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. Nord 2 have 8.3 mm of thickness, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 7.6 mm of thickness. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have slimmer body. Talking about the weight of the devices, Nord 2 comes with 189 grams of weight, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 177 grams of weight. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have lighter body weight. And about the protective glass of the devices, Nord 2 have Gorilla Glass 5, whereas Reno 6 Pro have Gorilla Glass 5. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of glass. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. Nord 2 have glass back with plastic frame, whereas Reno 6 Pro have glass back with plastic frame. So it's a tie because both of the devices have solid build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices, let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. Nord 2 have under-display fingerprint scanner, on the other side Reno 6 Pro have under-display fingerprint scanner, so it's a tie. And about the sensors in the devices, Nord 2 have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas Reno 6 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, so it's a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. Nord 2 have 4500 mAh of battery capacity, whereas Reno 6 Pro also have 4500 mAh of battery capacity. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. Nord 2 have 65 watts of fast charging, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 65 watts of fast charging. So it's a tie again because both of the devices have approximately the same charging speed. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. Nord 2 comes with stereo speakers, whereas Reno 6 Pro have normal speakers. So the winner here is Nord 2 because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, Nord 2 did not have any 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas Reno 6 Pro also did not have, so it's a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices, starting with the WLAN of the devices. Both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot. But Reno 6 Pro have 6th generation of Wi-Fi, which provides more coverage area and more speed. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, Nord 2 have 5.2 generation of Bluetooth, but Reno 6 Pro also have 5.2 generation of Bluetooth. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. Nord 2 have dual band AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo, BDS and other chips, whereas Reno 6 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS. So the winner here is Reno 6 Pro because it have many chips. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, Nord 2 comes with 2nd gen of Type-C connector with OTG support, whereas Reno 6 Pro have 3rd generation of Type-C connector with OTG support. So without a doubt, the winner here is Reno 6 Pro. Moving to the price of the devices, in the international market, price of Nord 2 is around $300, whereas Reno 6 Pro is available from $480. In the Indian market, Nord 2 have starting range from 28,000 rupees, whereas Reno 6 Pro is available from 40,000 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera, the winner here is Reno 6 Pro. In the performance, it's a tie. In the display, the winner here is Nord 2. The body segment, the winner here is Reno 6 Pro. In the features of the device, the winner here is Nord 2. In the communication chips, the winner here is Reno 6 Pro. And about the prices, the winner here is Nord 2. So the decision is totally yours, which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what do you think, which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what you thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.